This is Dan Max, the trading agent. This is a stock trading and recap channel that I wanted to share to the masses. In a probability game, there's no certainty. Here are my insights and predictions.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the trading agent, doing a quick live pop in of the market. So today is Tuesday post OPEX. Traditionally, this can be what's called Turnaround Tuesday. And let's see what's going on, because usually you see the market bottoms within the first hour and a half post Tuesday. I know the VIX is climbing right now. Hold on one second, get the dollar back. And the markets are getting a little squirrely. I think if anyone who's been following me knows that I said what? W in the VIX holding the 20-day. It's probably going to pop. Now my VIX is on delay with these particular charts. It's 15 minutes, but that doesn't matter. You could see the VIX was building to probably pop. Yesterday's closed over that trend line. We talked about that in the videos, and that you probably need to be aware what's going on. So anyway, let's get into it. So here's what's, I think, one of the things that's causing people to kind of freak out about the market is the TLT. Bond rates look like they're going higher. To me, they're not really doing anything other than back testing. I'm not too worried about that. We talked about this with the SPY, and hopefully people were listening. We said, we're up against this channel high, and that candle yesterday just really wasn't that great. And I didn't like the action. I said the volume wasn't great, but it did leave itself open to breaking. And here we are. I mean, at the 20-day and another channel. Just keep an eye on it. If you're long in the market and this breaks, you've got problems, which honestly, I'm not anticipating it to break badly, but it could break temporarily. And like I said, it is Tuesday, post OPEX, aka Turnaround Tuesday. Let's dive a little deeper. The real culprit of all of this is the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq hates higher rates. But I've just been saying, like, watch this channel. If you wanted to short, there was your opportunity. Watch this little pennant. And we made that candle yesterday, and here we go back to the 20-day. That was some ugly, ugly shit. So just is what it is at this point. You gotta, after a big move, you can expect some chop or drop. I mean, you saw it here. You said chop, and then it just chopped to higher prices. I mean, that potentially could be in play here. So I just tell people, have your stops and have a plan. Just don't trade blindly. Let's get into gold, because this is what's getting interesting to me. I know the Fed's just Federal Reserve has announced that, or not announced, but actually Biden wants to nominate Powell back, the money printer Powell, Burr, whatever you want to call it. This is getting interesting. I'd like the 200 day. I actually didn't buy anything yesterday, even though I liked it. I just, I always tell, wait for Tuesday. So I started buying a little bit in the 167.20s. Then I bought some at 167.10. I have a 50-cent stop on all of it. I'm probably going to get popped out, or I might just kind of play it as is and just let it run and go back to maybe just a dollar stop. I do like it in this area because this is the old trend line. There's nothing new. What the Feds are announcing isn't changing anything about the dollar. I know people like to just talk shit about the metals, but hey, they're pretty technical. What did I say up here? Needed to hold this area. Once it broke the high and tight, because if you look and zoom out, that was the downtrend and old resistance. Once you couldn't get over that, that was a problem. And then yesterday's action, closing under the 20-day, like, you just couldn't buy yesterday. And if you're around and you will pay attention to what I said, I was not recommending anyone really buy unless you were looking like long term and you just don't give a shit. Because then maybe that makes sense. Your time frame is whenever is the future, long into it. So keep an eye on here live right now. I mean, the 166, that's got to be your break point. Because if the trend line breaks, like, this gap probably fills in the 165. So just keep it simple. Let's get into silver. We broke the trend line. And again, that's not as bad as what it might seem. Again, if you draw charts and you're looking for support resistance, you can see we've got a little bit of support resistance in this area. We're coming into it. It's not, again, I apologize for drawing so many lines, but you kind of have to use ranges. for potential support resistance. I like silver down here in the mid 21s, just putting that alert out on the Discord room. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just keep it simple. Have your stops. GDX, I started buying some more of this in the mid 32s. I do like this because it is coming down into its trend line. People are always like, oh, you're early. And it's like, you know what? I've been early, and sometimes I'm right, and then sometimes I'm wrong. But here's an example of early and being wrong. Like, say you're waiting to sell Tesla at 1260 and you didn't sell any early, you paid the price. Sometimes that happens in stocks. It's not always clean. The charts don't always hit the exact spots you want because ultimately you do not know who has the trap shares or the market action that the market maker's trying to unlock. And when they unlock these folks and that shares process goes through, there's really nothing you can do. And so ideally they like to set stops, but sometimes they get the trap started early and they have to, and someone else is picking the bottom or starting to build inventory. So it's just a game. And close, again, if this was silver, if you want to start buying here, I don't think you have a problem with that. It's under the 50-day. It's not ideal, but look at this candle. Could today be a turnaround Tuesday kind of effect? Maybe it could go lower. Maybe it could get back down on the 21s. But if you're trading, know your time frames, know your limits, know your stops. I don't like that it broke back, but again, maybe it turns into just a bigger Head and Shoulders within a Head and Shoulders. And this is where Head and Shoulder patterns can get so complex and be annoying. Because again, I tell people there's no certainty. You have to play probability. So know the game, know the potential, know you can be wrong. And that's the one thing. I mean, it was noticing, some people talking about, well, I don't know about gold or silver today. It's like, you know what? I don't know either. I just know that I like the probabilities. And that's all I need to know. I like Tuesdays. I like that we just came straight down in a straight line. That to me is going to get bought more than likely. Straight line moves love to reverberate. I mean, you can see you drop and then boom. I mean, we just dropped from 174.60s down to 167.70s. Like that's just too much too fast. At worst, we get a bounce. And then you can play how you want it after such. Tesla, let's get into a few of these stocks that we're following. Watch the 20-day. I've been saying, watch that. Didn't like how it popped up to like 1196 and failed. 20-day is the key. 20-day fails, you just got to take your money on Tesla and get the fuck out. It's just that simple. Come back later. It's not a bad stock. Hoping Elon buys all the silver he can so he can screw the silver cartel, because that would definitely be a squeezer, but that's a whole nother topic. And yeah, if you have questions, you're unsure, you want to learn, watch the videos, study, come by the Discord room, add comments, throw in your thoughts. Like, what do you want to hear? What do you want to learn? Like, teacher can only help when he knows what the student wants. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I'm willing to help. My friends are willing to help. We're, trying to do something that we think is giving back, in the sense that helping others learn how to trade makes us better. Me focusing hard on this kind of stuff puts my eyes in front of it all day that I can, with other things that I have going on. And again, I've been trading for a long time. I don't sit here and I'm not going to ever tell you I know anything for certain, because I've been in those positions where nothing made sense. And I knew it. And there was nothing to do about it. And the news came later, and then that's when everything made sense. And so in these moments when the market's doing what it's doing, gold's doing what it's doing, whatever you want to say, you just don't know. And sometimes when the news comes out, it's worse. And then sometimes it's not that bad. How things get priced in, who's ultimately getting trapped, what's the market maker's game, like what kind of inventory are they trying to unlock? You got to know the rules of the game. And I can throw those up real quick. And I've always said to people, just keep it really simple. And here's a lot of information just on my Discord room. And here's some of the seasonality stuff. Here's support resistance. Somewhere up here. Volume. Oh, here we go. Here are the rules of the game. And I'll just read them out to you real quick. To understand the specialist practice, investors must learn to think of speculative specialists as merchants who want to sell inventory of stock at retail price levels. When they clear their shelves of their inventory, they will seek to employ their profits to buy more merchandise at a wholesale price level. Once we grasp this concept, we're ready to possess 8 laws. As merchants, specialists will expect to sell at retail what they bought at wholesale. So that means people, the specialists are trying to buy low to sell high to retail. The longer specialists may remain in business, the more money they will accumulate to buy stock at wholesale, which they will want to sell at retail. Again, makes sense. They're wholesalers trying to get things cheap to sell to retail. The expansion of communication and media will bring more people into the market, tending to increase volatility of stock prices as they increase elements of demand and supply. Well, of course, specialists will leak to the media. Blue Horseshoe loves Anacott Steel, whatever you want to call it, to get people interested in buying stock. That's what they do. Once they've got the wholesale, they start advertising. In order to buy and sell huge quantities of stock, exchange members will seek new ways to enhance their sales techniques through the use of the mass media. Yes, the mass media, we always say this, they are pumping to dump. When you know about something, it's already too late typically. Not that the stock can't keep running and go higher and act better, but in general, keep in mind, once the media is talking about something, the market makers got what they need. So keep that in mind. Advances will be more dramatic on the upside to attract public interest in order to distribute at ever-increasing accumulated inventories. As I always say, higher prices are the best advertisement for what? Higher prices. What usually ends a move? A blow-off. I've talked about this in previous videos. That's what that means. People come in 2 or 3 weeks ago. Everyone's talking about Tesla, 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 Tesla. That should ring in your ear of danger, not of promise. You should be looking to exit when the advertising of this becomes higher and higher. Because think about all the specialists who are in at wholesale levels are unloading at retail. Who's buying the news? Just keep in mind, who buys the news at CNBC? Smart money or dumb money? Who are you trying to follow? Okay. The most active stocks will require longer periods of time for their distribution. CHOP, as we talk about. And in 8, the economy will be subject to increased dramatic breakdowns, causing inflation, unemployment, higher interest rates, and shortage of raw materials. That's kind of an economic thing at the end, which, again, I hope that just going through that kind of makes sense sometimes what's going on with the market and how you have to understand probability. I didn't really want to get into that, but I think on days like today, it's really important to know what's going on here. The markets have been up high. If people are advertising how great the markets are, even though the news flow is changing, that can lead to a smash. The VIX was telling you. Again, if you own high-flying names, beware. Just absolutely beware. So I hope this helps. I know there's a lot to unpack here. There's always more to learn. If you're not learning, I'm constantly learning, then you're not going to be a great trader. The market's always change. There's nothing static in chaos. We're playing probabilities in a game that has a 1,000 variables. We try to identify the stuff as simple as possible and do what we think is best. So I appreciate everybody. If you have questions, again, come to the Discord room, drop a comment. I'll try to answer it. Others have, and I'll shoot them a direct video if I can. So take care and be safe. Have your stops. Be aware. You can be wrong. Don't burn out. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. Also smash the like button, share with your friends, and add a comment. If there's a topic or stock you'd like me to give you insight about, let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer your question. Thanks.